All right, everyone, settle in because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of homeopathic remedies, specifically focusing on Spongia Tosta. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth is Spongia Tosta? Well, it's derived from the common sea sponge, Spongia officinalis. Imagine that. We're not just picking sponges off the beach, though. These sponges are roasted until they resemble dark, rich coffee beans. This roasting process is crucial, as it helps release iodine and other therapeutic compounds that are key to its medicinal properties. The roasted sponge is then triturated with alcohol to create a tincture. This tincture, my friends, becomes the foundation for a potent homeopathic remedy with a wide range of applications. So what's the core picture of Spongia Tosta? Think dryness, constriction and suffocation. Picture stepping outside on a frigid winter evening, inhaling that sharp, dry air that makes your throat feel like it's being scraped. This remedy is particularly suited for fair-complexioned individuals, those with delicate constitutions and those prone to glandular and respiratory issues. The hallmark of Spongia is that dry-as-a-bone sensation, presenting as parched mucous membranes, hoarseness, and a tight, barking cough. It is also a go-to remedy for anxiety-driven suffocative episodes, where the patient suddenly awakens gasping for air. Now let's break down the key characteristics of Spongia Tosta, system by system. Mind, expect to see anxiety and fear, where excitement actually intensifies the cough. Individuals may be easily frightened. They might have a desire to sing and perhaps exhibit weepiness, but also obstinacy and fretfulness. Head, you might observe a rush of blood to the head with bursting headaches, specifically in the forehead. Vertigo, heaviness and throbbing sensations can also occur, along with that odd feeling of the hair standing on end. Eyes, look for watering, gummy discharge, dullness and redness, heavy eyelids and even double vision. Nose. The symptoms here can be all over the place, from a fluent coryza alternating with nasal congestion to dryness and chronic nasal catarrh. Nosebleeds, especially after blowing the nose, can also occur. Face. The face may appear pale with sunken eyes or red with an anxious expression, and swelling of the cheeks might be present. Mouth. The tongue might be dry and brown with vesicles. A bitter taste might be present, but is more typical in the throat and not the mouth. Throat. Key symptoms here are a swollen thyroid gland with stitches, dryness, burning and stinging sensations. Interestingly, a sore throat can actually worsen after eating sweets. Respiratory. This is where Spongia really shines. We're talking about dry coughs, hoarseness, and a dry larynx. The cough is characteristically dry, barking, croupy, and often gets worse before midnight. Patients may also describe a sensation of a plug in the larynx. Breathing may be difficult with that overwhelming feeling of suffocation. Heart Spongia can be associated with rapid and violent palpitations, often coupled with shortness of breath. The individual might actually feel better in a horizontal position. They may also wake up suddenly after midnight with pain and suffocation. A surging of the heart into the chest might be reported. Glands. Expect to see swollen glands, especially in the thyroid and cervical regions, which can be tender and enlarged. Male symptoms include swelling and tenderness of the testes and spermatic cords, often described as bruised. Female ovarian indurations, heavy menstruation, palpitations and breathlessness are notable. There can be pain in the sacrum, hunger and palpitations before menses. During menses, suffocative spells may occur. Now, let's bring it all together with real-life examples. Imagine a child waking in the middle of the night, crying and struggling to breathe. Their cough is loud, dry, and sounds like a saw cutting through wood. A warm drink provides temporary relief, and the child is able to go back to sleep. And how about key symptoms for different groups? Children. Expect to see frequent dry, barking, croup-like coughs, which tend to worsen before midnight. They may wake suddenly with a feeling of suffocation and have swollen cervical glands. Men. Look out for symptoms such as bruised or pinching pain in the testes, swelling of the spermatic cords, and respiratory tightness. Symptoms can include palpitations, suffocative spells before menstruation, excessive thirst or hunger, and anxiety associated with early and profuse menstruation. Now let's look at what makes symptoms better or worse. Worse symptoms tend to worsen when ascending in the wind and before midnight. They can also worsen after sleep. Mental excitement, cold air, dry cold winds, and talking, singing, or swallowing can also be aggravating factors. Better symptoms improve when descending and lying with the head low. Eating or drinking, especially warm drinks, can also provide relief. How do we differentiate it from other similar remedies? Aconite, this is ideal for acute croup with restlessness and high fever, while Spongia is more about dry, constricted conditions. Hepar sulphuris, this is better for croup with rattling mucus and sensitivity to cold, whereas Spongia is all about dryness and hoarseness. Bromium, this addresses glandular swellings but lacks Spongia's profound dryness. It's often suited to darker complexions. Lachesis, this shares the aggravation after sleep and a sensitivity to touch with Spongia. Phosphorus, this also works for hoarseness, cough, respiratory infections, angina and palpitations. In terms of relationships with other remedies, Spongia shares connections with halogens like iodine and bromium, emphasizing its role in glandular and endocrine issues. Camphor can counteract overdosing. Aconite often comes before Spongia in croup cases, while Hepar sulphuris follows in the presence of rattling mucus. Clinically, Spongia has a wide range of applications. Respiratory conditions. Think dry, barking coughs, croup, laryngitis, asthma, and hoarseness caused by dryness or constriction in the throat. Glandular afflictions. This includes thyroid swellings or goiter, orchitis, and epididymitis. Cardiac symptoms. Nighttime palpitations and breathlessness driven by anxiety are key indicators. Fatigue and weakness, exhaustion and heaviness after minimal exertion, often with a flushed face and breathlessness. And chronic conditions, tubercular diathesis, thyroid dysfunctions, and long-standing glandular issues. It's worth mentioning that Spongia Tosta is particularly suited to individuals with light hair, a lax fiber, and a fair complexion. Symptoms are often worsened by heat, exertion, and motion. Let's recap some key characteristics. Dryness. This is the star extending from the throat to the lungs, described as dry as a horn, cough dry, barking or sore-like, and worse before midnight. Warm drinks can bring relief. Suffocation. Patients often wake at night feeling choked or suffocated. Swollen glands, most commonly in the thyroid and cervical regions, and they are often tender and enlarged. Aggravations, worsening after sleep with exposure to cold air or during emotional excitement. Ameliorations, relief with warm drinks, lying with the head low or resting in a horizontal position. In conclusion, Spongia Tosta is a powerful remedy that can provide relief for conditions marked by tightness, anxiety, and glandular issues. It is a versatile and important tool in the homeopathic practice, addressing respiratory, glandular, and cardiac issues effectively. So, whether you are helping a child with a croupy cough or helping an adult with a thyroid imbalance, Spongia Tosta can be a powerful ally in restoring health and harmony. That's it for today, folks. I hope this was insightful, and as always, do not hesitate to reach out with your questions. Disclaimer. This information is exclusively intended for professional homeopathic practitioners. The author cannot be held responsible for any misuse or improper application of the remedies discussed. It is crucial that these remedies are used only under the guidance of a qualified homeopathic practitioner.